Оба, нихуя себе. Уходим, уходим.
As the Atlas oil depot in Russia is still burning, this the moment of depressurization of a fuel barrel at the Atlas oil depot in Rostov region.
Все, ебало нахуй. Оба, нихуя себе. Уходим, уходим. Бочка разгорелась нахуй.
A Russian private military company linked to Russia's defense ministry withdraws from Burkina Faso due to the events in the Kursk region. The Bear Brigade, which arrived in Burkina Faso to support the junta led by Captain Traoré, now heads for Russia. Their mission was short-lived. Having arrived in Burkina Faso in May to support the junta of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the men of the Bear Brigade, a private military company linked to the Russian Ministry of Defense, are now packing their bags. This unit would have nearly 100 men out of the 200 to 300 Russian elements currently deployed in Burkina Faso. Official reason for this departure, only 3 months after their arrival, to participate in the Russian defense effort against the offensive launched by the Ukrainian army on August 6th in the Kursk region. Contacted by Le Monde on August 22nd via encrypted messaging service Telegram, Viktor Yermolayev, commander of the Bear Brigade, aka Jedi, confirmed this withdrawal. When the enemy arrives on our Russian territory, all Russian soldiers forget about internal problems and unite against a common enemy, he wrote. 5 days later, on August 27th, his unit's Telegram channel released a more explicit message stating that, in connection with recent events, the brigade is returning to Crimea. It is in fact in occupied Crimea, in Perevalne, that the Bear Brigade's base camp is located, which Viktor Yermolayev assures has no connection with the Russian Ministry of Defense. If you put boots on Russian soldiers and give them a gun, they are already obligated to shoot and, first of all, to die. Why they surrendered in groups, not laying down their lives like their peers at Kursk Bulge? Russian propagandist Sladkov criticized Russian servicemen for surrendering en masse in the Kursk region. Sladkov himself never took part in battles, was never on the front line, and has spent his entire life engaged in PR and propaganda of generals of the Russian Ministry of Defense.
Полковник ставит задачу молодому комбату, капитану, говорит, давай вперед выдвигайся. Ну как, нас же перебьют всех. Ему сказали, что ты тупой капитан, иди вперед и не размышляй, бери своих срочников и иди вперед. Вот. Это выдумка моя, это моя выдумка, рассказанная мне моим разумом через телефон в разговоре с компетентным человеком. Нельзя так относиться к людям. Если ты надеваешь на них сапоги и даешь им в руки оружие, то он уже обязан сам стрелять и в первую очередь погибнуть. И как ты его подготовил к этому? Как ты вообще его подготовил морально, если они сдавались пачками, они ложились?
Moscow police are to be paid a 50,000 ruble, $558, bounty for each person they persuade to sign up for military service, including immigrants and homeless people. The initiative will create more incentives for corruption for Russia's already notoriously corrupt police. Interior Ministry sources have told the VCHK OGPU Telegram channel that police services in Russia will be incentivized to persuade people to join the armed forces with bounties of 50,000 rubles in Moscow and 10,000 rubles, $109, in the regions. According to VCHK OGPU, the Interior Ministry employees we interviewed were very skeptical about the innovation so far. There are no known cases of anyone receiving such a bonus. However, all without exception noted that the amount would be a good incentive for ordinary police officers when working with the population. According to the interlocutors, men of any status, nationality, and citizenship will be counted towards the agitation. A bonus is promised even for contracts with homeless people and stateless persons. Control is entrusted to the heads of departments over the number of those who, under the persuasion of the Interior Ministry employees, agreed to sign a contract with the Defense Ministry. For several months now, department heads have been required to report to the top on the sending of persons under supervision, control, detainees, and other persons to the special military operation. For nearly 2 years now, immigrants in Russia have been facing pressure to join the Russian army. Illegal workers have been detained, often in sweeps of construction sites and checkpoints in metro stations, and told to join the army or be deported. The police have played a major role in rounding up migrants, but they have problems of their own with the loss of staff to mobilization, low salaries, and poor morale leading to shortages of police officers across Russia. It's very likely that this initiative is driven by Russia's increasing difficulties in finding new recruits to replace its huge losses in Ukraine. The introduction of bounties may also help to improve the lot of the police by boosting their salaries. However, it also increases the risk that the police, who are already renowned for their corruption, will behave even more corruptly towards the population. It provides a strong incentive to arrest people on false charges, simply to intimidate them into joining the army. Minister of Foreign Affairs of Lithuania Gabrielius Landsbergis said, "We cannot allow Russian bombers to be better protected than Ukrainian civilians are. Let's ask ourselves if we are being honest about how much we actually support Ukraine."
Even though it sounds like a joke, but we're protecting Russian skies more. Russian planes are better protected by the Western guarantees than Ukrainians. We have to ask ourselves a question. Aren't we ourselves a part of this problem? So far, no Patriot batteries that have been promised to Ukraine in Washington have been delivered. No new ammunition packages have been delivered since June. The eastern flank is worried because we all understand if Ukrainians are not getting the assistance that they have been promised, that is a door open for Putin to continue. This is very unfortunate, but we need to start asking very specific questions when the promises are being made. Because it turns out that when a country X promises an equipment Y, it appears that the equipment Y is unsuitable, is unusable, it needs repairs, it would take a very long time for it to be delivered. And as for example, during our discussions with Ukrainian friends, we find out that certain equipment that has been promised last year will only be delivered in 2027, even though the calculations and the promises and the announcements and the headlines have been in 2023. And as you know, Putin has reliable friends. North Koreans, Iranians are able to resupply Russia with what they promised. So there's this difference. In some cases, we are creating a narrative, a good story to tell our citizens. That we are fighters for what's good. But when it comes to deliveries, well, the story sometimes is very different. But there's another message. Basically, Europe is prepared to lose. And I really hope that those people who make decisions not to provide Ukraine what is promised, they are preparing for the next stage of war. Because that will come. There's no way around this.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.